Thanks, Steve. All right. Yeah. Welcome to the Dawg and Gus show now on Feeler Radio.
What's up, Dawg?
Not much, Gus. You?
We're back in the Audio Valley.
We are.
It's nice to be back.
It is.
We have some special guests with us today.
We do.
And they're going to play music today, too.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, we already had a little taste of it. Kind of gets you all jacked up. We're with the East Coast Experience. Hi, guys.
Hello, hello.
Well, part of the East Coast Experience, right? We're missing a few members.
We're missing
a few members.
Yeah, 40%.
40%. Okay. Yeah, you're good. 60's better than nothing.
I would say so.
This is the best part of the 60.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for coming.
It was my understanding there would be no math. I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, there's no math. There's the list.
That wasn't on the list of the questions that we couldn't ask.
That's right. That's right.
I thought we could keep kind of, with some mathematical questions, maybe get into some politics. Wait a minute. No, that's wrong.
Wrong podcast.
Wrong guy? Bad. So, where did you guys form? You obviously all played instruments, and does anybody know each other for like a really long time? How did the East Coast Experience develop?
Well, I mean, it's a bit of a funny story when it comes to that. Of course, just how we all got to know each other. Marco and I used to live next door, basically one house separating us in Orleans, and we have met, as I was pulling gear out, he's pulling gear in, or vice versa, what have you. We see each other at the beginning of the night and the end of the night, so we both had our own things going on, and we'd always say something like, we should get together for a beer or strum a guitar or what have you, and that was kind of an ongoing thing we said for several years.
And we never did.
We never ever did.
We never did when we were neighbors, but, fast forward a few years and we crossed paths again. And I think you were writing some songs at the time. You need some guitar work done. So he flipped me some tracks and I did some guitar work on a slow song and a faster song. And that was kind of the beginning of it.
Yeah, and that was back in 2016, maybe, I think. And then we formed this. We formed East Coast Experience as a duo. And we were really enjoying that because, as you can imagine, with two, there's just less voices. There's less schedules to contend with, and things were pretty easy to either take shows or not. And we had a very energetic thing going. And between the two of us, we're both multi-instrumentalists, and it was a very engaging show, and there was a lot of variety, and it was good. And we often talked about maybe what it would be like in a larger footprint, and of course, as much as that was great, and we all wanted that, we sort of always had that on the back burner, saying, well, now there's more people and more schedules, and it's just harder. But we decided to go through with that. And
the selfish musicians in us
Yeah.
said, you know what? The duo thing is great. We're having a lot of fun, and like you said, there's no scheduling issues. The logistics of it are very simple, but, again, the selfish musicians in us want to play with other musicians, and we want to have layers, and we want to have the full arrangement. So that's kind of where we hit it.
I think also I would imagine because you have the talent of doing multiple instruments, your appetite to create music with more musicians kind of is more, I guess, you're hungrier for that, as opposed to just being a twosome that gets out and plays a couple gigs together. You can create more as a group, right? Would you say that's true?
Yeah, to an extent. We always heard pieces missing, and even when we recorded these tracks, if there were parts certainly that we didn't play or even play well enough to the if there's a piano piece that I was playing or writing on, and we could bring in a better musician to do it for the recording, we do that, and we always believe the better the song, the greater good. But now we're in a position, thankfully, where we have the talent with the five of us as our regular day in and day out band, where I no longer have to play fiddle parts or anything. So.
Yeah, no, you have Dana to do that.
That's right. Yeah,
we've heard a bit of her, and she's phenomenal. So good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
And clearly, you've never heard Bill play fiddle. So
We'll
just leave it at that today.
Maybe we'll leave it at that. I don't know.
I think that'll be on the list. Just don't ask Bill to play the fiddle.
as a spread.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And Dana's schedule's okay with you guys now? You guys are good with that?
Yeah.
She's not messing anything up with the other two? That's why they're not here?
Well, they couldn't commit, and she could, so.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it worked out real well.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, where did you meet Dana? How did Dana come to the band?
So we kind of. Do you want to?
No, you got it, buddy.
Do you want to take the floor? So we have a mutual friend. We didn't know each other before. I mean, Dana's been in the band for 4 months, 6 months, something.
April.
Yeah, something like that. And anyways, we have a mutual friend, which is also a musician that ran the same circuits that I used to in a former band that I played in. And we were just having a casual conversation one day about players, and we were playing with different musicians and stuff. And he said, "Well, if you guys are ever in the market for a fiddler, I got the person for you. I think she'd be a perfect fit." I said, "Oh, thank you very much." And we left it at that. And then we ended up making contact, and we didn't really have an immediate project at the time that was lined up. We were still doing the duo thing, but we were certainly seriously considering doing a full band thing. And so we ended up going that route, and we never looked back. Feels like Dana's been here since April, you say, but it feels like she's been here for a couple of decades now with us. So
Feels like forever.
no, in a very positive way.
Yeah.
Not in she's been here for 2. Yeah, no.
She's just been around.
Yeah,
When you guys played Blues Fest, was it the full band or just the two of you?
it was the full 5 weeks.
How did that go? How was that for you guys?
That was fantastic. We do slide in, 3 or 4 originals typically in the run of any given event. But in that instance where I think we ran off like about 8 or 9 original songs for that night, that was special to be able to do your own stuff. And the people being there, it was a busy place to be that night, and we were very fortunate on that, and it was well received. And anytime you go somewhere where the expectation is the original music, and it's received as well as it was, then we really had a special evening, and we'll never forget that, certainly.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun when you say, "You guys want covers? You want originals?" And everybody's like screaming for originals. But it's like,
Yeah. But the audience was very engaging at Blues Fest, and the organizers, like the whole experience from start to finish, they really go all out for the artists that are on the lineup. And we had a great experience. We had a great room, and to Billy's point, people were definitely very attentive to the music and everything. So it was a super fun night.
As an Ottawa musician, maybe that's probably like the pinnacle for a musician. I would think like you're playing one of the best festivals in the world, and it just happens to be in your hometown. I don't know if you're from Ottawa, but I know you live here. And that must have just been like a bucket list moment for you guys, right? I would think.
Same thing for Billy. I'm not sure for Dana, but for me, Blues Fest has always been a very special festival because, and I am local to Ottawa, but I've been a Blues Fest showgoer for decades.
Yeah.
Without fail, book vacations to attend Blues Fest. So for me to be able to be on the opposite side of the audience was definitely a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, pinch me moment. For
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
And any time that you can look at your band name on the same T-shirt with the Foos and Shania and Robert Plant, and we also got to see Mumford and Sons on that T-shirt with us as well. So that was that's pretty cool as well. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, Mumford and Sons is a pretty good comparison in a way of how your music, your musicality is, especially with the drums and such, the way that you play. I would think. I mean, it's kind of cool. And having Robert Plant on a T-shirt with your band name is probably right there.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
I mean, we may not be connected directly, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, hey, you are connected because you played the same festival. So
Yeah.
it's great. It's wonderful.
For sure.
yeah, you can tell people that.
Yeah.
Plus, and when we met you, you won a prestigious award at the Capital Music Awards this year as well. So that must have been great for you guys. You've kind of had some nice momentum this year, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a bit of a story to that, and I guess it's worth going in a little bit
Absolutely.
on that. We did get together in 2017. This kind of this started from there, and we were sitting around one night, sort of over the COVID fiasco, and certainly we had some ambitions of things that we wanted to do, and Blues Fest was high at the top of that list. And we kind of looked at each other and said, well, we know how this goes. You kind of have to do your own stuff. You you're not getting into Blues Fest by covering other bands. If they wanted to hear those tunes, they'd just bring in those bands. So we said, let's do it. So we sat down and we got writing. And, being COVID, there seemed to be a little bit more time, on everybody's schedule. It wasn't as busy gig-wise, and everybody seemed to be working from home. So there was, there seemed to be a little bit more time to do some writing. So that's what we did. We took full advantage of that. And as it turned out, we wrote some songs that not only we liked, but it turns out that some others liked. And, we were nominated right out of the gate for the Music and Alvin Music Newfoundland Artist of the Year for those, Roots Folk Artist of the Year. And then with the O-Mike, we had a couple of nominations for those as well, the New Artist of the Year, the Group of the Year. We were lucky enough to have won the Group of the Year. And, mission accomplished. We started out on this path to do Blues Fest, and we were lucky enough to apply. And I guess Mr. Monahan liked what he heard, so, we got the call for that.
Yeah. Do you find, and this is kind of a general question, I find when I manifest something, and I'm sure when you guys sat down and decided what you planned out for the next couple of years, do you think that planning and putting it on paper and putting it out in the universe, it sounds like a tricky question, but putting it out there, do you feel like it came back to you because you said we're doing this, and do you find that would be true? Would you agree?
Well, I think I would agree to a point, but just to add to Billy's the story he was saying, when we were sitting in my basement, we were doing some practicing, and verbatim we said, we should write our own songs, and we need to go and play Blues Fest. So to your point, if you're putting it out there in the universe, then it does happen on occasion that it does certainly turn in your favor. So
I'm a big Dawg, will tell you, I'm a huge believer in put it out there, and something will. And if you put the work in, which you guys obviously did as well, it's not just you don't just say, I'm going to do this and then never do anything to do that. But I think of having that goal, and if you say it out loud, it's out there, and you have to go. Now, if you have the ability, go do it, right? And sorry, it was just more of a personal, interested question.
Yeah. And it's not just about the music either. I mean, there's other moving parts that also contribute to, favoring some opportunities, because we did put a lot of effort on our social channels and trying to gather some followings by doing a lot of shows, by being very present online, by, by providing content on our social channels that are of value to the people who do, lend us an ear.
Yeah.
And, our branding and marketing of the band, our just not our signage, but our logo and stuff like it. Just get it out there, and just to make sure that it's top of mind to people,
Yeah. Yeah, we talked a bit about it in the parking lot. Actually, you have to put it out there. And it's I think as musicians too, there's certain bands that are selling out massive places, and they're getting marketed by an actual label. But to grow your band the way that you want to, and playing Blues Fest and getting to that point where it's getting some momentum, you have to put that effort in. You have to put that branding effort in for sure.
Yep.
It's huge part of it in anything.
And it is great, looking out from the stage, into the sea of faces, and you're seeing your T-shirt, all multiple times or what have you. That's kind of
very cool,
a cool thing too.
Yeah. Well, t-shirts and bands are just they're together.
That's right.
That's just the way it is.
I mean, we have the pride of ownership, but when others on the outside looking in dig it, and they want to support, then we're definitely.
Don't worry, you can fire us a couple T-shirts. We'll wear them.
Done. We'll make that happen.
How about a tune?
I think it's time. Yes.
Yeah. If you don't mind, if you want to play one of your originals or whatever song you want to play,
sure.
We'd love to hear it.
Let's do it.
They took a whole bunch of time to set up, so I guess they want to play.
Well, we even got this beautiful room, rocking and rolling. So what are you gonna play?
Well, this one is off our EP, and this one is called "Let It All Fall Down."
I always love doing this when we get they come in with guitars and whatever. It's fun. Other than just the talking part.
Yeah, you like the music part?
I like the music part.
Yeah,
Thanks.
No, that was wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. Now with that was off your first EP. I saw on your social, speaking of social, that you guys are working on new material for a new album coming out hopefully in the spring of 2024.
That's the plan. Yeah, we have some studio time booked in the next couple of weeks. That we're going to start this whole process all over again. So we're doing a full length album that will be released in the spring of 2024. So
Nice.
yeah.
Are you guys are you doing the hard copies?
Yeah, we still do the hard copies, and I realize, and we realize that it is a digital world, but at shows, people like to show support, and look, I mean, it's no secret that everybody knows these days that there isn't much money in it for the artists these days when it comes to streaming and what have you. So I think people like, if they want to support, they want to have a tangible product, and they do enjoy buying something. So it's nice to have it at the cottage or what have you.
Yeah, we're those people. We love that.
Yeah. I mean, we always ask about like pressing vinyl would be amazing, but we know it's insanely expensive to do.
Yeah, but it's definitely on our radar. I gotta say.
Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
think so because we're both vinyl guys,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't know. I think if for nothing else, it would be really cool to have your own project
though?
on vinyl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's something
Seriously.
that you give to your family members, and you sell. Obviously, you sell. We'll buy two. We'll buy two right here. And
Pre-order.
Yeah, we're pre-ordering right now.
There you go. You're up to
Put us down for two. We'll pay you.
Well, don't pay this game.
If I can ask a little question, like more, if you see the band the way you're going, obviously you have an album coming up in 5 years. What's like your aspiration? Like, what's the pinnacle, the highest moment for you guys in the next 5 years? If you could manifest, or if you could visualize it, what is it?
I think that will probably, change a little bit when you sort of talk to each person, in the group. But, for me, I just want to keep bringing joy. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, but I really enjoy, none of us are in this for, to get rich or what have you. It really is truly about the music and the engagement, especially for me. You get up on stage and you look out and you just see you're making a difference, and you're making people's lives a little better, if just for a moment or two, or an hour or what have you. And to me, that's great. So if I were to say what I would like to do with that in 5 years, I'd just like to continue to do it on a larger scale. We've been fortunate enough. The last show we did, I think there was upwards of 5,000 people there at the Highland Games, and that was an energy that hit us, and we felt that, we liked that, we'd like that again.
Over and over and over again.
I bet it'd be like
Yeah.
ethereal almost.
Yeah, it's super fun, but it is a labor of love though, because to Bill's point, it's not the streaming, it's not the revenue that you generate from that, that just helps, propel some other future projects down the road. Same thing with merch, same thing with all that stuff. So like ticket sales and all that. So
Yeah. Now, along that same line, is there somebody you'd love to share the stage with? Like, what I mean? Like, you just maybe open for, or have an actual play with.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, we just played with Robert Plant, and no, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, we certainly would love to be on a stage where we're right in before the Alan Doyle would be a fun night to do. Just, we both have similar shows where we like to ramp up the audience and get people in that same mind frame. Another one for me, and Mumford & Sons, I'll say it again. I mean, I thought they were spectacular when they came to Ottawa. They were just lights out fantastic. So I think that would be a great thing in my mind. If I had a choice, that would definitely be an artist I'd like to share the stage with.
yeah, there's a few. There's the Jason Isbells of the world that we have that we hold in high regards, and Watch House. That type of singer songwriter rootsy kind of, we're all over that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of people out there that we highly respect, and we certainly would love to receive that call.
Sure.
We certainly wouldn't turn it down.
Dana?
Share the stage with anybody, but they're already here.
See what happened there?
Wow.
All right.
And this podcast is over.
No, that's great. It is. I can tell that you guys obviously like each other, which is decent. Especially when you're creating music or creating art. If you have the same kind of goal, and what it is to make people smile and enjoy your music, and then you're getting back what you're giving out, and I think that's wonderful. I think that's the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, any band I think that that you've talked to or will talk to will probably be of the mind, like we are, that 80% of the battle when you have a band and a group of musicians that come together is the relationship, the connection that you make as people. The music is almost secondary, because if you don't have a good chemistry and a good synergy, as friends to share the stage, I think that translates, and that's felt when we play.
Yeah.
It's felt by the audience.
Yeah, no,
If you're having a good time and it's legit, it's genuine, then people pick up on that.
absolutely.
On the positivity of it all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So after the pandemic and into the music scene here in Ottawa seems to be growing, and it's like, as we talked, like you said, we've talked to a lot of different bands, and there's a lot of different, we got some East Coast stuff, we've got some harder stuff, we got some, and it just seems that every show I go to, there's bands there watching the bands that are playing, and it just seems like there's a very connectiveness within this scene here in Ottawa. Can you speak on that a little?
Yeah, there is definitely a community of musicians that has each other's backs, and we see it all the time. We're lucky enough to look out and see other musicians in that audience, or if we need to come together for benefits or what have you, it's a quick phone call to some boys, and they're all in. So it is very much a friendship with a lot of the the local artists, and it isn't as much as it used to be. Maybe I don't want to say a competition, but everybody was sort of vying for the same shows and gigs and stuff like that. Back a few years ago, I found lately people are just more supportive and more family. Maybe family's not the right word, but definitely there's a lot more friendship involved in competitiveness, I think, these days. It's my experience, anyways.
And it's so different for us. I mean, we're big show goers too. We support other bands, and we get out there. We do get out there as well. So
That's right.
We tend to forget sometimes that you guys are actually music fans as well, right? You're not just musicians, but you're fans.
yeah,
For sure.
Who forgot that?
I do.
And as nice as it is to watch the show from our perspective looking out, it's also real nice to look at the other way around. So we do enjoy a night out where we don't have to do anything but just sit there and maybe have a pop and watch and listen to some great music.
there's no shortage of talent in this city.
No, there's not.
And
There really isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've noticed, just having our little podcast, it's like the artists that come on, and then you're just kind of blown away by the actual talent, and you're like, okay, this is top tier music, and you guys are included in that, of course. It's we've had some crummy people on.
Yeah, like who?
I'm just kidding.
Who shall not be named here.
Yeah, exactly. That person.
So we've had a very diverse. We've had Raph, this world-renowned cellist. He's incredible.
Yeah.
But then it is nice to see that Ottawa, is we sort of discussed it a little bit in the parking lot. Ottawa was always known as the sleepy town, but artistically, I think that because now that we're more of a metropolis, we're over 1 million people, and you're seeing more art. You're seeing more amazing artists come to the city, and maybe be more open with it too. And I think that, if anything, the pandemic did create some music for sure. I mean, there's there was people sitting at home, like you were saying, and maybe going through some emotions throughout that time. And usually, the best music is created through emotion and what you're feeling at the time. So I think that's part of it too. So Ottawa's definitely grown as an artistic town.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Your Overflow, honoring the heroes, is that your next gig, or do you have anything in between? We can speak a little bit on that too.
We have a couple before that, but they're corporate gigs.
Okay.
But that's the next one on Remembrance Day at the Overflow Brewing Company that we're going to be playing. And the brewery was gracious enough to do a military personnel happy hour between 7 and 10, I think it is, or something like that. So,
That's
yeah,
great.
it just so happened to fall on November 11th. So, naturally we wanted to do something to highlight that and bring some attention to Remembrance Day and, the fallen heroes and all that stuff. So,
I love that. I love that. I'm a big vets guy. Like, I really respect them. And obviously, Dawg's dad was a very was in the military as well. So it's
for 30 years.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome, guys.
Yeah. And it's I don't know if you guys are familiar with Overflow, but it's a fantastic venue.
It's a great
the
venue.
owners are great. They're very involved in the community. They do it right. It's a fun room to play as well.
I love it because it's like all glass too on the outside, and the garage doors go open. And it's really nice.
It's fun. It's fun for you guys too, because it's not like you're all crammed into a 6-foot whatever kind of stage. It's a big stage, so like the 5 of you have a lot of room. You're not all just like, get out of my way, Marco. You're in my way. I can't find my fiddle. It's because I went to see a show there. Why it was so
Dana
great.
was giving them the elbows. Get out of here.
Yeah, Dana knocking people down because she doesn't have the room.
We've already had a collision, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's right.
Yeah, so that'll be coming up on November 11th, obviously.
Yeah, that's great.
I think I might partake.
Oh yeah. You're gonna go.
Yeah.
Pressure's
You guys
on.
are both going to be on the guest list now for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Half price passes. I'm just kidding.
Half price.
Actually, we paid price and a half.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What's your biggest pet peeve? You can be anything.
I was gonna say, like, music-wise or in general, because I have a list like a mile long.
Alina, please.
Oh.
You have the floor.
It's all you.
Slow walkers on the sidewalk, because I'm a fast walker, and when I walk, I got a place to go. And if there's like 3 people that are just like in a row, like doo-ba-doo, I'm like, can you just get out of my way? Yeah.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, just push it off the sidewalk.
Into traffic.
I love that. Gentlemen.
I don't know.
I have 2 big pet peeves. One of them are TV commercials. I cannot be tolerated. In fact, I even went as far as just deleting the cable from existence, and I just stream things. And the other one is, I'll just leave it with one title. It's called Wagon Wheel. That's
The song?
I will support that pet peeve.
Stop asking us to play the song. Yeah.
Oh,
We don't play it anymore. It's done. It's gone. It's over.
It's out of your repertoire. That's
Yeah.
why I started writing your own music.
That's
We're
it.
not playing this fucking song ever.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm okay with that, by the way. I don't really want to hear that song anymore.
Fantastic.
I like the Old Crow Medicine Show version. Darius Rucker, well, he's good, but
Oh, look, there's nothing wrong with the song. It's just it's been done a couple times.
well, when you're
Too many times.
when you do covers, then you get that one song that you play over
And everybody's shit face yelling,
Wagon Wheel. Well, it's the same thing with DJ, right? It's like, play old time rock and roll. Why don't you just fuck off?
Yeah. It's the same.
Yeah.
I found out
Yeah, I know, I
Dog's pet peeve is old time.
Yeah, that's just annoys the crap out of me.
So
I
just
really
just
like
say
slow walkers. I'm with Dana on that.
Yeah, me too.
just say what I say. Just tell them that we played it in the first set. You must have been in
Actually,
the bathroom.
you were having a smoke when I played that song.
Yeah.
Play it again.
Play it again.
Yeah.
I like that. It's a little controversial.
We need a little bit of that.
Yeah, you need a little zest.
Yeah. Do you guys have a favorite singer-songwriter? Somebody that you think, man, I wish I could write like that person.
Yeah.
Well, we mentioned some of those names a little bit earlier. Like, I know that we're big Jason Isbell fans.
Yeah.
We think that the guy
Yeah.
is brilliant. Musically, lyrically, I don't know. He just speaks to us very much so.
And Jim Cuddy for me as well. I mean, me and Jim go back a long way. He doesn't know me, but me and him go back a long way.
Well, so do I. Yeah, you go back a long way with Jim.
He lives on my sister's street in Toronto.
Does he?
Yeah, he lives in Riverdale. My sister lives there. So I get all excited when my sister Martha doesn't really care, but when I'm visiting and I see him walking his dog, I'm like, that's fucking Jim Cuddy. And she's like, yeah, he lives up the road. But, it's Toronto. Honestly, I was like, all right, fine.
I'm sorry, your sister's way too casual. I don't like that.
Yeah, and just so Jim knows, Martha does care about you, Jim.
Yes,
Yeah, she does.
Jimmy, yes. I thought Jim Cohen shows sometimes.
Seriously. Dana, what about you?
That's a good question. Maybe I'll give a plug to a local friend of mine who I think is a really fantastic singer-songwriter. His name is Ray Harris. He does sort of folky, sort of rockabilly stuff. I play with him every once in a while, and I think his original stuff is really, really great.
Excellent.
Yeah, we played a show with him a couple weeks ago, and only 10 people came out, so it was everyone else's loss, because I think he's a really great singer-songwriter. So.
On the other hand, 10 people came
10 people.
out. Right? Yeah, I think that's...
Keep it positive.
Yeah. Because Dawg says that sometimes because he loves going to these shows. He's spending a lot of time going to the shed and watching the live shows that have been going on there that old Mike's putting on. It's amazing. But he's like, there's just not that many people. I'm like, yeah, but people are there, you know?
I feel, because you guys work so hard on your craft, right? And I feel like there should be more people involved. That's why we gravitated to doing this, because we want to get more people out there to listen to all these amazing artists that I get to see, Dawg and Gus gets to see, and it's just, I feel, I get angsty, because I'm just like, God, there's not a lot of people here. So I just imagine what you guys are, you're looking down on the stage and you see 20 people, and you're like, all right, let's play. Like, I would be like,
Yeah, there's certainly a a lot of energy that comes back when you're playing to a full room versus not. So that's helpful from a performance standpoint, obviously.
Yeah,
but
right.
you were mentioning earlier about, or I was mentioning rather, that there's no shortage of talent in this city.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just about the talent. It's not just about the musicians or the artists. You need showgoers for everything to work together, and to support the local bar scene and the local, small, medium, large concert venues in the area. You need people in those seats, and without them, then
they don't stay.
That's just it, and so.
Unfortunately, I agree. You're right. It's not the musicians' talent in Ottawa. It's the sleepy people that live here.
Man, I tell you, it's a little frustrating sometimes. Like, it's like, come on, like, grow a pair, come out, like, don't sit in front of your television. Come out and enjoy some live music, and just
put your phone down.
Put your phone down for an hour or two, or if you're putting your phone up, taking pictures, like, just come out and get engaged.
Yeah.
And we learned a little while ago that that's just inevitable if it's status quo. So, we really decided consciously that we weren't going to do just like the bar and pub scene, because it is that you show up, you play, and people go to the bar, go to the pub, and they sit, they drink, they watch the game, they do whatever they want to do, and if music is on their mindset for that particular evening, then they'll listen to a song or two or go somewhere else. But if you just do targeted events and have ticketed events, and then people are actually invested in coming to you, they have their ticket purchased. If the weather's not great, they have their ticket purchased, so they're going to come out in times where they may otherwise say, I'm going to just hang on the couch a little bit, or maybe I'll go watch the game for an hour. So we've taken that direction consciously to do basically all ticketed type events, aside from festival slots or what have you. But that's really been a key factor to some of the fun nights we've been having, because then we can gauge what's happening. We know who's coming. We eliminate the possibilities of low attendance, hopefully, and we can push the marketing button a little harder if we see that we're 2 or 3 weeks from a show date, and maybe there's a half or 3/4 room. So we push harder to sort of get that to a full room. So it works in our favor, and it works in the showgoers' favor, because it is a better show when there's more people to engage and share that energy.
Good point. That's great. Yeah.
Good time for another song.
Oh yeah. If they want to play, we would love to hear another song. Yes.
All right.
If you're up for it. What are we gonna have? What are we gonna hear?
So this one's going to be not one that we wrote, certainly, but one that we've sort of made our own, and we've been playing this probably for a few years. And it's one of those songs. It's called "Fox on the Run," and it's an old bluegrass tune, I believe, originally. And we've sort of East Coasted up a little bit.
Nice.
And
Juiced it up.
yeah,
Juice.
I'm going to take these off around. So.
Juice. Yeah, not for Bill, though.
No.
That'll give another word in French.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Juice.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I now have 9 French words that I can say proficiently. All right, you ready, boys and girl? She walks to the corn leading down by the river. Hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun. She took all the love that her poor boy would give her. Left me to die like a fox on the run. Like fox on the run. Everybody knows the reason for the fall. When woman tempted man down in bed, I say it's tall. That woman came to me and she took me for a ride. Like the lonely bones, boys, I need a race too high. She walks to the door leading down by the river. Hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun. She took all the love that her poor boy would give her. Left me to die, fox on the run. Like fox on the run. So let's drink a glass of wine, boys, for a fire soul. Remember all the times and the girls we used to know. We see the bunch of girls getting crazy on the floor. The party's almost over and the hounds are in my door. She walks through the corn leading down by the river. Hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun. She took all the love that a poor boy would give her. Left me to die, fox on the run. Like fox on the run. She walks through the corn leading down by the river. Hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun. She took all the love that a poor boy would give her. Left me to die, fox on the run. Like fox on the run. Like fox on the run. Like fox on the run.
I like that juice.
I love our job.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Amazing. I like that version, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely got the sweet
Fun
version,
song.
right?
No.
That's not even the same song.
No, but I like where your head's at.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's right on the top of my shoulders.
That took several beverages to perfect into that style. Yeah,
But that's a great, like, I know that I've heard the bluegrass version, and that's just like, it's such a great transition to like an East Coast feel, right? I just love it.
Yeah, it's a fun little song.
Yeah. I have a question for Dana, because I've always wanted to know.
Shoot.
What's the difference? I see people play the fiddle. I see people play the violin. What's the difference?
Spelling.
Spelling.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No difference whatsoever.
Perfect. Because I'm just asking, because on last Thursday, we had a show, an O-Mike show, and there was a young lady that was supposed to perform, but the weather wasn't the greatest, so she didn't perform. Catherine Patricia Cobbler, she was a fiddle player, not a fiddle player, a violinist. And I'm looking and I'm going, I don't understand, like, I don't see a difference. Like, I'm looking at your fiddle, I'm looking at her violin,
Spelling.
and apparently it's spelling.
What a wonderful answer, Dana.
Thank
Yeah,
you
that's
very
a
much.
great answer.
I get that question so many times.
I imagine you
My
would.
answer is very no, but yes, there's no difference. It's just a style. And some violin players call it a fiddle, and some fiddle players call it a violin. And
Okay.
potato.
I learned something too, because I always thought that a fiddle was more for rootsy Celtic inspired type of music, you know, Cape Breton type of vibe, and then violin was more classical and that type of thing. But
Well, I mean, yeah. Usually, that's classical players are a little bit and I can say it because I grew up to be like classically trained, so I'm allowed to say this. They're snooty, so they don't. Some of them don't like it.
Of course.
Really?
Yes.
But this is being videotaped, right? We're good.
It's a violin.
Yeah, but there's something. Oh, it's not a fiddle, but like it's the same instrument. It's just the style that you play.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like we're in a kitchen party.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, what was that?
You know, it's fun. I have to tell the story because my best friend, he lives in Corner Brook.
Oh, I didn't know we were a best friend, like, because I also am from Corner Brook.
Are you really?
I am, sir.
Wow.
He called you sir.
I'm gonna have to remember his wife's maiden name, but his name is Brad Roberts. He's from Nova Scotia. He married a girl from Corner Brook. She has a huge family there.
Her name is Carrie.
No, it's Melissa.
Oh, now see, I should remember her name.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I went there for their wedding, I was best man, and I did a speech, and I'm from Ontario, so of course they made fun of that. And they were said, James, you speak so well, and I'm like, well, because I speak English. You guys are, I don't know what you're speaking. But no, the one thing they said is, oh, you're from Ontario, eh? And I said, yeah, and I said, well, you're not an asshole. They said, you're not an asshole, It's funny that you're from Ontario, you're not an asshole. I'm like, what? But anyways, it was amazing to be a part of a community there because they have those kitchen parties.
Yes.
And the wedding was a big to do, but the day after when they opened all the presents and we were all hungover, it was a huge event. It was like there was someone with a guitar and they were singing and they were dancing and they were doing, and I was like, everybody, like, this is crazy. Like, this is the day after the wedding, but they really know how to do it up there,
Yeah.
So you're from Corner Brook?
I am, yeah.
Well, amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I was just thinking about a little road trip back that way to incorporate Corner Brook into the plans. So we may be looking at.
I'll tell my buddy Brad.
Yeah,
Play the show there.
Go see them. Go play in front of the Man in the Mountain.
Yeah, well, there's a little island down there right below him, and of course the old tale on that is that the Man in the Mountain is looking down. I think it's Sable Island, and he's overlooking the treasure that's buried in the Humber River.
That's right.
So I've dove many times and have not found neither penny, but
Neater.
I had to throw in one Newfoundland.
Yeah, I was going to say the accent comes
I
out.
really do love Newfoundland. I
Yeah.
loved being there. I thought it was just such a beautiful place, and they're so proud. Like they just call you a mainlander all day, and but they're still like, oh, they'll drive you around, they'll show you around. I said, we're in Corner Brook. I could probably walk this in 15 minutes, but thank you. Yeah, we'll cruise around.
It's funny that you say Corner Brook and all of a sudden Bill's accent comes out.
Well, I don't have to hide anymore.
It's a safe place here, though. You're fine.
It is, but it's funny, you say that, and I've lived in Ontario for a long time, and it's almost magnetic when someone from home or someone mentions home that it just starts coming out, and then I'll draw the accent out of the other person, and then before too long, even Marco, who's quite used to me at this stage of the game, he can understand a lot of things that I may say, 6-7 pints in. But
it does come out.
It does.
As they go deeper into the evening, the language just changes for sure.
It's a tree pint accent, is what.
Yeah. Right.
But
Peckford's her last name.
okay, well, I'm probably related to her, and
It might be.
Well, we can take it offline, but I bet you I can tell you exactly who her mother and father is.
Mother and
Yeah.
father.
Well, they're all truckers. It's a whole family.
I understand, and I now can confirm that we are related. So
That's fun.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell him I'll send. I talk to him all the time, but yeah, definitely. He's a great guy. And when you go down there, he'll have a plan with you for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Great guy.
My Aunt Barb is a Peckford, and that's how that all works. So
That's hilarious. Yeah. So Rudy Peckford and all. Wow. Okay. Yeah. There you go. So basically, we're related.
we're family.
Just so you know, basically. Yeah.
Great.
And we're done here.
Exactly. I got speech in and everything. It was a great event.
You don't understand my troubles with this podcast, man. He knows like every other person we've had on, like Amanda Rayon. Oh, shit, I grew up with her. Blah, blah, blah. This person. Oh, I grew up with him. I know nobody.
Well, you know me.
Well,
There we go.
you know us now.
Yeah,
so-
I do.
See,
I
see what I
do.
said? It's 10 people showed up. He doesn't see it that way. He's like, I know everybody. I'm related to one of the people that came.
Yeah.
Through marriage.
Blah, blah, blah.
There you go.
It's all about Gus once again.
Of course. It's
Blah, blah, blah.
I gave you top billing so that I could get all the attention afterwards.
Well, that's what you
I thought he had top billing because of the cool beard.
It is.
That was,
cool, come on.
listen, man. I have beard envy. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, it's funny because we had Cassidy on, who's owns Bush Beard.
Cassidy.
Not Cassidy.
Oh my god. You said her name wrong.
Did I?
Yeah.
I know. That was her call name. That was her call name at Lone Star.
You're in so much trouble.
I know. Anyways, she owns Bush Beard.
Candace.
And, yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
But her call name at Lone Star when we worked there was Cassidy, like Butch and Cassidy.
Right.
You'd be Butch.
Thank you.
But yeah, so he basically started growing this beard, and now he's talking about it, and I say, you have no choice anymore.
I can't shave it.
This is who you are.
Yeah.
It's your look, man. You can't do it.
Yeah, I can't shave it off.
Yeah.
Not that I want to, but
What do you got?
I got lots.
Give him.
At a show, what do you guys want the fans to take away from your show? Like, say we go to your show, what would you like us guys to be talking about after that show's done?
How well the T-shirt fits.
Nice.
That's probably.
That's important. That's an important one.
No, if they could walk away and and have again, I don't mean to keep beating it, but fun time, something that was memorable. Look, we put a great emphasis into the energy of our show, and I know we did a kind of a slower original type thing, but 80% of our show is on 11 many nights. So there's a big party atmosphere to our show, and when people leave and they're saying, wow, that was fantastic, and that was awesome, what a night, and they got to meet with old friends, because like it or not, with the East Coast Experience shows, there comes a lot of East Coasters, and just like right now, how we say, oh, you know this, you know that, there's a lot of engaging, and there's a lot of audience members who meet people and they become either great lifelong friends from there on in, or they realize that their mom and dad grew up down the street, or their sister or their cousin was there, and we're really uniting people together, like-minded people who are all coming for the same type of thing, and we're just giving them a good night out, and that's all we can ask for if people go away and think that.
It's great.
Yeah, I think we go out with always the same mindset. We always at least tell ourselves, let's go out there, play the best that we can, have fun, and make an impression, leave an impression. And hopefully people go home, they've had a good, positive experience. They'll tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends, and it's like that commercial from whenever, but and that's how you grow your following. That's why, show after show after show, you start to see the audience, getting a little bit bigger, and you're playing, larger venues and stuff like that, and you're drawing more, and
Well, and you're passionate about it. Like, you're showing passion, and people absorb that and want to be part of that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I can speak for that, because like when I go, if you guys are having fun, then you guaranteed 89 to 95% of the crowd's going to be having a good time.
yeah, it's infectious.
Yeah.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think? Should we ask the question?
Do it.
Okay. So we ask a question. If you've listened to us, you might have heard it. At the end of most shows, we ask if you were more into 80s music or 90s music. And it's the reason we ask is because he's 80s. 90s.
So basically what you're asking us is, who's our favorite?
Exactly.
Yeah, like if you what music resonates with you?
No,
80s,
it's all about favorites.
Yeah, 80s or 90s. Oh yeah, who's your favorite?
Who do you like best?
Well, I already know who he likes best.
Ouch.
So I get to say 80s because he already knows I like him more.
Still, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That just happened, Dog.
Yeah.
I would probably gravitate to 90s. I don't know that I took much attention in the 80s, really. I don't know if it was just a phase I was going through, or I was listening to a bunch of metal then, and so I don't know that spoke to me, on the same level, but
That's fair enough, Marco. You're done.
we're done here.
Let you go.
I feel like this is a roundabout way of asking people how old they are.
Nope.
Because I have to say 90s because I feel like in the 80s I was too young to be into music. Except for,
So Dana's saying that I'm old, is what she said.
Well, you are fucking old.
I am old.
No, she's also saying that we are old.
I'm saying these guys are fucking old.
Yeah.
Dana and I are over here, and you guys are over there. So it is. Okay.
But we prove that there is a clear path paved from hair metal to East Coast music.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. That's where that's going.
For sure.
So hair metal was part of you were into hair metal?
I was huge into Motley Crue and Rat, and I love that stuff. I still, once in a while, have a little place where I can sit back and listen to some Crue.
Nice.
That's funny because that was going to be one of my questions. What's your guilty pleasure? So, Rat, Motley Crue,
Oh my goodness.
Marco.
All over the map. Anywhere from Yngwie Malmsteen to, I don't know, Van Halen, Def Leppard. That was my childhood right there. Pyromania, that was, you know.
Yes.
Dana?
I don't know a guilty pleasure. I try not to feel guilty about anything I like. But
But if somebody went, oh, Dana, really? You know how people are judgmental out there.
I
Not
know.
us in this room, but
well, I feel it's super cliche for women in their early 40s to like the Killers, and I love the Killers. And
Fair enough.
Yeah, I have no shame about. I love the Killers.
I love the Killers too.
Yeah, I love
Yeah, me
Mother
too.
Mother. Mother Mother's probably
Mother
my favorite.
Mother's awesome.
My hands down favorite band.
yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
They're great too, yeah.
Now, it's just a fun question to ask because sometimes, you know, you look at somebody and they go,
Rob, what's your guilty pleasure?
my guilty pleasure is a group called Oxo. They were an 80s band, and it's like this pop crap that it's just, it's so infectious. I have the album, and I love it. Like, every song on that album I love.
Isn't Oxo like a cleaning product?
Oh, it's like a bouillon cube.
Oh, yeah, bouillon.
Yeah.
Bouillon cube.
Did you make excuse?
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, so that's the one, and there was a one-hit wonder album. We just had the one album, and that was it. And I just love that album.
Well, I'll share with you one of my guilty pleasures because it kind of reminded me of that as I was hearing you talk about your story. But so it's about Kiss. So Kiss was my first musical influence. I heard Ace Frehley and I thought, I don't know what that sound is, but I need to know how to do that. But the point I wanted to make for the guilty pleasure part is that Kiss, and you may or may not be a fan of the band, but back in the 70s, they released a movie called Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. It's an absolute
Is that the
piece
one
of
where, is that the one where
crap.
Paul Stanley says he's going caroling after he introduces like six
No.
women named Carol?
No, that's probably the sequel.
Yeah, Kiss Meets the Phantom was.
Kiss Meets the Phantom was it was a B movie at best. But let me tell you something. To this day, at 53 years of age, I could probably tell you the entire script of the movie. I've watched it so many times.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Our buddy Doug is we have a mutual friend who's a huge Kiss fan.
Yeah,
And yeah, he would say the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah, you would know that too. I have a friend, Casey Corbin, who's a comedian in Toronto, and he is the biggest Kiss fan I know, and Van Halen. He's got a
They're
Van
coming.
Halen tattoo.
Oh,
Literally.
wow.
Casey's my cousin.
Nope,
Okay.
I do not.
Well, you have everything else.
Not everything else.
You've got.
I got a few.
You've got a purpose. There's reasoning for
Yeah, the one arm is all album covers. Yeah, and the leg. So
Well, we'll work on the ECE design there.
yes,
after we're
I
done.
like the sticker. We could do that.
Yeah.
Amanda Rayon asked the same thing. She was, well, where's my tattoo?
Right.
Yeah, she
Oh.
calmed you right down.
Oh,
Awesome.
she.
So that was early on in our podcast career
Yeah.
experience. And Amanda is a good friend of mine. She's obviously super talented. You guys know who she is. And Dawg was nervous.
I knew who she was before we sat down to talk to her, and I knew her music, and I was just like, oh my god,
She's
this
super
is like,
kind and relaxed and calm and wonderful. And Dawg's like so nervous, and I think she could feel it, right? She didn't know, but then her and I had a rapport, so we're kind of going back and forth. And then Dawg's about to press the button to record, and she goes, "Don't press that!" And he goes he starts laughing right away. So it sort of broke the ice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Amanda's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you. We appreciate you obviously coming out and spending some time with us and playing a couple tunes. And we look forward to seeing your careers go as far as you want them to go. And love that you're going to have a new album coming out. Ideally, I'd love for you guys to press some vinyl for us. It's sort of for
Just two of them. So like they're limited, right?
Well, 7. So 5,
Seven,
one
yeah.
for each, and then
Yeah.
one for us.
Oh yeah, you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a copy too.
Exactly. For the repertoire.
Yes.
But yeah, no, we will come out and see you obviously November 11th. Go check out that show for Remembrance Day at Overflow.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, thank you guys.
Thank you very
Awesome
much.
to have you.
Pleasure, and we invite anyone to stop by our website. Certainly, we have another big concert announcement that's going to drop in about 2 weeks. So we actually cannot say where, but it is a very.
When does it come? When is the actual? Really, when are you gonna say it?
Well, we're hopeful that we'll be allowed to announce, but the actual show dates are going to be November 24, 25.
Okay.
And, it may or may not have something to do directly with Blues Fest-ish things. I don't know.
Is it here in Ottawa? Can we ask that?
Close enough, or as they say
fair
back home, Paddy Keefe to it. So that's,
Like Keith.
Yeah.
I don't know that one, but I like the way you said it.
so thank you.
All right, so stay tuned for that. Check out the West Coast, East Coast experience.
What's the West Coast experience?
I don't know.
It's our
That's
rival.
like- that's like
It's
a
their
guilty
rival.
It
My
is.
guilty pleasure, the West Coast experience.
It's their rival.
Yeah, no,
They're out in BC.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you coming, playing, and we look again. Check them out. Go November 24th to 25th. We'll see what that announcement is, but definitely check them out online. Buy all their merch. Get everything you can out of them because they're going to be big stars. Big stars.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
You said it.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Sociable.
Wow.
Social.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful.
Wait, I didn't ask the deep probing question.
Uh-oh.
Kidding.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank
I was going to ask Marco about Roadhouse.